Hey guys, so here we are, Auror Plays Arkham City Part 9. It's been a long time since I've recorded some of this and done commentary, so I thought I would. It's a game that I love, and I kind of just lost interest in recording because I'd already played it like 3 times whenever I actually started recording it. So it was like my 4th playthrough, and I just needed a break from it. So I've gotten my break, so here we are continuing. In case you don't know what's happening, I skipped the cutscenes pretty much because this is just about the gameplay. And I mean, I leave enough of the cutscenes in that I know what's happening so I can tell you guys. And basically what's happening is I'm trying to find Mr. Freeze because Joker's poisoned me, and Penguin has captured Mr. Freeze, and so now I have to go and get Mr. Freeze back from Penguin, if that makes sense. So here I am in the museum, which is Penguin's hideout, and I am looking to try and save Mr. Freeze, which is weird because he's actually one of my, top nemesis is Freeze, but I have to save him in order to save myself. And it gets convoluted, but that's basically the premise here. So I have to save Freeze, and then I have to get, I have to defeat the Penguin, basically. And while I'm trying to do this, Penguin's throwing all sorts of obstacles and shit in my way. Like this huge frozen pond thing in the middle of a museum. First off, what the fuck? What kind of museum has a huge, lake in it, in the middle of it? Like, seriously, that makes no sense at all. I guess it could be flooded. I guess the floor could be underneath this, but it has to be big enough that there's, a surprise under the ice, which you'll see in just a bit. But I don't think that I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it doesn't seem feasible. But it's it's Arkham City. What can you do? It's Gotham. Gotham's. I mean, I'm playing a game about a guy who dresses up like a bat and fights a guy who dresses up like a clown. I mean, and I'm sitting here talking about, this doesn't make any sense. But basically that's what's happening. So, and the ice is really thin apparently, so I have to walk slow as shit. So this is kind of boring watching this part. Oh man, you think it's boring to watch? You should see what it's like to play, or you should play it, because it's like you just want to run so bad, but if you run you'll fall through the ice. There it is. See, so if it's flooded, it has to be flooded deep enough that there's a shark living in it. What kind of museum is this? Seriously, I've never been to a museum that has a huge shark tank directly in the middle of it. I don't. Whatever. It's Batman. Batman villains do weird shit with their hideouts and with their weird villain bullshit. So here we go. So now I gotta save these cops, which he's froze, and the cops are kind of whiny little bitches. If you want to know the truth of it, they're like, "Oh, I'm so cold. I'm trapped in ice. Boo-hoo." But so I'm having to save them before I can go do anything else, and it's just like, oh god, this is fucking annoying. Why would you send cops into a prison like this anyway? I mean, if you know what's gonna happen if, look, this is what happens when they get discovered. When they're discovered that they're cops, this is the kind of thing that's gonna happen in real life. Is people are gonna freeze them in blocks of ice, because that's how they roll in prison. That's how we roll. Fuck anal rape in the shower. We're gonna freeze your ass in a block of ice, bitch. Because that's gangsta. Oh man, this is a gross drink. I didn't have time to make tea before I made the video, so I needed something to drink to wet my throat down. And I got one of my mom's Diet Cokes. Because for those of you who don't know, we are in transitioning. We're talking about, me and my wife and kids are talking about moving to Tennessee. And so instead of getting another apartment down here, another place to live, we have been staying with my mom until we figured things out about how we wanted to do this. So we were staying with my mom, and she likes caffeine-free Diet Coke. She loves it. So me and my wife have been buying it for her because we've been buying all the groceries and doing all that stuff, you know. We feel bad enough that we're having to stay with my mom for, you know, even a short period of time. So we're, like, trying to make it up to her. Plus, you know, I'm not even going to bullshit. It's embarrassing. I'm a grown man with 3 kids, and I'm married, and I'm having to stay with my mom. That's, you know, that's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. That's an embarrassing thing. And I wish it, you know, I wish I didn't have to live with my mom, but that's just the way it is. You know, I lost my job. My wife, you know, she had a good job that she was able to support, you know, the whole family. I was staying at home, taking care of the kids, you know, doctor's appointments, stay-at-home dad type stuff, you know what I mean? And then that job fell through. The girl she was working with, you know, they just, it was bad news. It was a friend. They were trying to, you know, and they always say, don't work for your friends, don't hire your friends. Well, it's you know, 100% true. Don't. It's just bad news. It doesn't work out. So she ended up quitting that, and then, you know, I didn't have a job, and it was right at the beginning of the recession, and everyone was losing their jobs, and it was just a horrible time to quit the job. But she didn't know that, you know, we didn't know that. We didn't know that was going to happen. But from that point forward, it was kind of like a downfall, and I've been looking for a job ever since. But a lot of people are giving me, I think a lot of people aren't looking at me seriously because of how long I've been out of work, because I've been doing the stay-at-home dad thing for years. So people look at that and they're like, well, why hasn't he had a job in 3 years? And it's like, well, you know, I've been staying at home taking care of my kids, you know. And it's just a horrible thing. And then with our last apartment that we had, I'm getting really deep into this stuff, but the last apartment we had, new management came in and took over because the old management was crap. They never came out and fixed anything, but also they never made us pay late fees, and they never made us do any of the stuff. So when new management came in, they said we owed them like $5,000 in late fees or some shit like that. They're still saying, even though we've been fighting them this whole time, they're still saying that we owe them like $1,300, and I refuse to pay it because we don't owe them shit. Okay, they never came out and fixed any of our crap. They never came out and did anything. There was nothing wrong with that apartment when we left. We cleaned it. It was fine. So that kept us from getting into a place when we got our tax money, because we were going to just put all of our tax money into a new place and pay like 6 months or a year up front. Just pay it all up front. And then we didn't get as much back from our taxes that we thought we would, because usually we get almost $10,000, and we didn't get nearly that much this time. And it's just a shitty situation, you know. And then Residents of Evil, who's like my best friend and frequent collaborator here on my channel, he owns his own place. He has like a double wide trailer in Tennessee. And so he offered us a place. We don't really have any other options. My mom wants us out. She doesn't have a huge house. I need to try and find a job. There's no jobs where I'm living right now. So we're going to give Tennessee a try. See, you know, how that works out for us. And I don't know why I've just started going off and describing all of my woes and troubles and money issues, but I think because I was embarrassed because I said I got one of my mom's sodas, and then I was like, everyone's gonna be thinking, why is he getting his mom's sodas? He lives with his mom. And so I had to explain it, and then it just went too far. You know, it's hard times, man. Everybody hits hard times. We're hitting hard times. It's shitty, but it happens. And thank God, thank the gods that we have good friends, you know, that are willing to give us, you know, to hold their hand out and say, you know, here, let me help you up, because a lot of people wouldn't do that for us. And that, I mean, that's the God honest truth. A lot of people wouldn't, because we're having to leave our home. And as much as I love Resi, and it's going to be cool living with him, I hate this. I don't want to leave Texas. I love Texas. I love my family, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? So, but there you go, guys. We'll see you on the next one.